In regards to the video I made yesterday about uncovering the source of my issues, having been the fact that I'm not using my left eye. My brain decided to suppress my left eye at a very early age, either fully or partially, I'm not sure which one, and use only my right eye. So some people were asking how that gets fixed. And so this is what I can't say exactly perfectly what it occurs, but I just want to read an email that I received from an optometrist friend of mine who is in Washington, D.C. And I showed him my prescription. He wrote this: "The farsightedness that you currently have has been there from early in your life, perhaps since birth. Frequently, this is associated with low tone." I'm not sure what he meant by tone, whether it meant vagal tone or muscular tone, I'm not positive. "You have compensated for this both visually and with your body. Excessive tone was always necessary, and my body was creating that excessive tone, tension in my body, tightness. I was always very tight, as probably a compensation for having low tone. As you got older and your ability to focus, which peaks at the age of 10, things got worse. Things worsened, and that's true. Things started really. I got the ring in my ears when I was a freshman in high school. My physical body started to hurt a lot more in the 7th and 8th grade. I had to give up pitching, so a lot of this makes sense." He said, "If I had seen you at a young age, I likely would have prescribed some of the distance prescription and had you in a bifocal. And you should likely be wearing more plus for your reading and computer work at this point." So that I already do. So the plan going forward, and hopefully this will work, is they give me something called prism glasses. They're called Yoke prisms, and I'm supposed to wear them for about 6 to 8 weeks. Now, what Yoked prisms do is this. Base down prisms of the type that I'll have create an upward spatial shift and consequent upward gaze associated with divergence. So convergence is when your eyes come together, and that's what I had been doing for 40 years because I was farsighted, I couldn't see. And divergence is when the eyes move away. I'm overly converged. A lot of people are overly converged. So these base down prisms basically move space up. So what Ron always says is, a lot of times, especially on the left side, the ground is moving away from us. It really isn't, but that's what our brain is perceiving, because we perceive more ground on the right side than the left side because we become too right dominant. So we have so our brain perceives a lot of ground on the right side. Let me get rid of this. So if this is your ground, okay? Let's say this is my right foot. Here's my hand is my foot, and this is the ground underneath. On the right side, because we're right dominant, we're in this right side pattern, your brain perceives a lot of ground on the right side. That's why so many people feel heavier on the right side, and the brain perceives that pressure. So it knows there's a lot of ground on the right. In my situation, because of this only using the right eye, I'm very hyper aware of the right side and the right side of my body and the ground on the right. This is the ground on the left. Of course, the ground is there, but my brain doesn't perceive it because my visual field on the left side is not being used. So my brain really only senses the ground on the right. So the prisms will make this ground, this really small ground on the left, bigger. And even the ground out between the right side and the left side, so my body can feel safe to shift my weight, my center of mass fully to the left, so I can use the left side of my body effectively. That's what the prisms are designed to do. So the reason my left side of my body was so tight was because this little amount of ground that I had, my brain didn't want to let go of it. It only sensed a little bit, so it said, don't leave that ground, keep that ground. My ankle was real tight. My foot was real rigid. So I was using that ground to stabilize the left side of my body to not move. My brain didn't want the left side of my body moving because it feared it didn't feel any ground there. So it feared it would get hurt. So it said, don't move, don't move, don't move. There's no ground there. I don't want to get hurt. And that's basically what's going on inside your head. Make the ground bigger, and the body can relax, the brain can relax because it senses the ground. And since I don't have that sense and my visual system at this point is still overusing the right, I need these prisms to make that left ground come up into me to feel it more. And I've already felt it because when they put the prisms on me, I felt the left side more. It's a pretty fascinating experience. And the tension in my back just completely went away. So that's what the yoked prisms do. They expand peripheral awareness. I need more left peripheral awareness. Relaxation, outward and backwards body movement. Remember, I always say people in the patterns are too forward and up. They're extended, they're forward and up. That's how they're living. We need more back and down. And increased near point working distance. So you are trying to give your brain, or my brain, the yoked prisms are going to give my brain a better sense of the left side of my world. So I can actually shift to the left and relax and breathe and alternate from side to side, and then I'll be a fully functioning human being, hopefully. So that is how that is working. And then my prescription, my normal prescription, it will have, instead of the right eye, so both eyes have astigmatisms. The right side is going to stay uncorrected because the right side dominance is still going to want to be there. It's always going to want to take over. We're going to purposely keep my right eye a little fuzzier so that I have to rely on that left eye more. And I haven't gotten the glasses yet. And I think the power is also going to be higher on the left eye. But I kind of already started to experiment with this because I still have my old contact lenses and I have plus 2.0 and plus 1.75. Interestingly, originally, my original prescription was a plus 175 in the left eye and a plus 2.0 in the right eye. However, we're switching that around. So right now I have a plus 2.0 in my left eye and a plus 1.7 in my right, and it's actually made a difference. So I'm already artificially I'm trying to dampen the overactivity of that right eye by making it a little blurrier, by having less correction. And it's actually working a little bit already. I feel a lot less back tension. I still know that because I still know that I'm not fully left because I just know at this point, you have to take my word for it. If I close my right eye, I'll feel my body shift to the left. My body weight will sway slightly. But I know that left to its own devices, this right eye is still a little bit too dominant. So I need those training glasses for those 6 to 8 weeks, those yoked prisms, to help me retrain the ability to use the left side of my body. And that's really how it works. And the people that use these are generally called behavioral optometrists. They're not going to be the normal optometrist that you go to see clearly, because that's what the job is of the normal optometrist, is to make you see clearly. My optometrist did that. She's not aware of all this. The people in Nebraska who I went to see, they saw the same numbers, but they understand what those numbers can mean in regards to a body and pain. And like she said, she's like, anyone that's not you, because I've been doing exercises for 7 years to keep my body, balanced. Anyone who comes in with those numbers is going to have, a lot of pain in their life. They're going to be, a lot of them will be very dysfunctional. Now, a normal optometrist may think, gee, I'm sorry that you're in so much pain, but at least we can get you to see clearly, not realizing that the two are linked. And it's just an unfortunate state of affairs that most optometrists do not study this type of optometry in terms of the whole system, the whole body, how all these systems interact. But that's why PRI is different, and that's why I have this channel, and that's why I'm sharing all this information to give you options, or to at least let people know that there's stuff out there that could be causing their pain that they don't even understand, that it's not a freaking muscle issue, it's a brain issue. But anyway, that's what I was talking about in the last video. So hope that helped, hope you found that interesting. If you did find it interesting, you could always like it, share it, comment. I love comments, and I'll always try to answer as quickly as I can. subscribe to the channel. You could do something like that. And until next time, have a great day.